Hey, welcome everyone back to the channel. I'm Carlos, and in this video we're going to take a look at part 2 of the Kanye documentary on Netflix called Jeen Yuhs, a Kanye Trilogy. Since the first one, there was a lot of people that have watched it, so I wanted to make sure that I was coming correct with all of my information, so I've called to help my brother, that dude, the one and only DJ Sean Doe.
Yo, what's up, bro?
I'm good. How are you?
Man, I think that Chicago is in a wonderful space right now.
Aren't
You
they
know what I
though?
mean?
Specifically Chicago hip hop.
Yes. So I was able to watch the first one, and
What'd you think, real quick? What'd you think?
it was amazing. Like I really feel good in this space for Chicago hip hop. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I just feel good about it. I was talking about it the other day, and I was just telling people, like, now the world is looking at Chicago for what it's known for. It sees Chicago. It's not just these people that they know every day.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, okay, cool. This person is intricate to the scene of Chicago. So
Right.
yeah, I'm happy about it.
And isn't it interesting? I kind of talked about this the last episode too, where I was talking about how people from Chicago sometimes feel like they need to leave Chicago to quote unquote make it, right?
Yeah.
But yet when you look at all these people like a Jay-Z, you got a Chicago person that is on his crew who made a difference. And it just, there's a lot of things, a lot of situations like that, that Chicago people, when they leave home, they're still a very integral part of someone else finding their success.
Yeah. I mean, I know that everywhere that I've been to, I went to school in Alabama. Um, there was a lot of great things happening, and it couldn't have happened without somebody from Chicago, being kind of like we have this work ethic, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That can be felt. And obviously look at Kanye West. His work ethic is felt around the world,
Yeah.
So I went to Thailand. People found out I was from Chicago, and it was just like, holy shit. You know what I mean? And I changed some things down there. So let's keep changing the world.
That's it. Should we? Well, we kind of have to give a shout out because I didn't give a proper shout out in the first edition of this. There was someone who kept popping up on the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to share what just happened?
We can.
Yeah.
So this person has been intricate through Kanye's, his life as far as being, a musician. And while we're about to do this, this watch party that we're about to have, Olskool Ice Gre calls. He's in the whole movie. Like, the movie could almost be about him. You know what I mean?
He's in there a lot.
So yeah, big ups Ice Gre. And
Yeah.
he was tripping because I called him by his government name. So he's about to hang up because he was like, this is the police. Nah. But
He legit thought you were the feds.
yeah. So but we do know each other in real life. So sometimes you call somebody by their real name. But yeah, he's doing good. I'm happy that all of this is coming out. Big ups to Channel Zero, Coodie and Chike. What they're doing, or what they have done, in part is exactly what they called it. Genius. So
going back to Olskool Ice Gre, he is a part of a group by the name of Abstract Mindstate.
Yep.
And just late last year, Kanye almost pressured him, right?
Oh yeah. So you know how we found out Abstract Mindstate was coming out with an album? So basically Kanye goes on, it's either Twitter or one of the social medias.
Yeah.
And he has this list of things to do. and Abstract Mindstate is on that list.
Yeah.
And people who knew what, there's, people who knew what Abstract Mindstate was, I think we were very happy to even see them on that list. Yeah. Because if you've known the grind that EP and Olskool Ice Gre has done for themselves, not just for, Chicago hip hop or for Kanye,
right?
For themselves, like, you're happy to see them get to this point where there's an official release for them. And some, like, literally when I heard it, I'm like, man, like, this Kanye's beats on here are crazy.
Mm-hmm.
They got really good beats. This is the best I've heard the Abstract. And I haven't heard, they haven't done music in so long.
Mm-hmm.
It's just really refreshing to hear them both back on the scene at this point in time.
And even that small conversation that we had with Gre, because we don't want him to think that we're the feds, but
right.
Even that small conversation that we had, he dropped so much history. It was like, oh my God, he was there.
So
he was there when these things were happening, and that's just dope.
So Ice Gre was everywhere. Like, he could, like, this is his life. You know what I mean? But he was not only doing this thing for Kanye, he was also doing a bunch of things for a lot of other different people. So giving him his props, for doing what he has done for the greatest artist in the world, but also giving him props for doing what he's done for Chicago hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
Big ups, Honest Management, and Rashid Hadi, and a lot of the people, Trezana McClennan. Big ups to the people that he has touched and brought along with him. He was saying he just got through talking to me, telling me about We Paid Let Us In, which is an album that I own and that I listened to. He told me that Ginsu Dean did all the beats for it, and I was like, yo, I didn't, being who I'm always learning. But I didn't know Ginsu Dean did most of the beats for it. So big ups Ginsu Dean, producer. He's done a lot of stuff on Mellow Music, and he did a project with the homie Denmark Vesey, who's from Detroit, but did live here with Quelle Chris, which is a group called, their group is called Crown Nation. Big ups Ginsu Dean, man. That's just something that you can't know everything about Chicago hip hop. Mm-hmm. And that was one tidbit of information that I just got from Olskool Ice Gre that was important to me.
Gre started sharing stories with us as like story after story after story. And one of the cool things was he told us a story about when he was, wasn't it when he was back in school with...
Everything started in Jackson State for them.
Yeah.
So they what is the group's name? They had Stew Pot Stowaways. That was their group. Yeah, it was a bunch of notable people in Stew Pot.
Yeah.
And one person that we all know from Stew Pot Stowaways that's famous right now is David Banner. And
before he was David Banner, do you remember what his name was? Gre said it too, and I was trying to remember. Like something MC something not as cool as David Banner.
So it's crazy. So let's think. So David Banner is from Chicago. Yeah. And not a lot of people know that. Also, in our vignette, he talks about how him using Twista kind of like for like the Rap Olympics. Like, I have to train.
Wasn't it something like MC Lav or something? Because his real name is Lavelle William Crump. MC Crump, MC Lav, something like that. Anyway.
I don't remember. But it definitely wasn't as cool as David Banner.
Yeah.
Which he did tell us a story. You can tell the rest of that story, Carlos.
Which one? The one where Gre was talking to David or Lavelle and told him that's not your name. Change it to David Banner.
Yeah. He said that David Banner was basically a persona, or a persona for him.
Yeah.
As far as like when he goes into this person to rap.
Yeah.
Rap a certain way. And
so it's like so to go like extremely mainstream. It's kind of like you have Marshall and you have Eminem. Marshall is the normal dude. Eminem is the guy who raps about not crazy stuff. But then when he slips into Slim Shady is the one that talks about burning things down and doing all kinds of wacky things. Well, you had David Banner would shift into like mega rapper mode. And so Gre told him, yo, you got to switch it over to David Banner because that is what's hot. Like when you get into that mode and write it out. And
I mean, the rest is history. That's his
literally
name. David Banner.
Coming from Olskool Ice Gre.
Yeah. So, and Gre has plenty of stories like that, man. You can sit and talk with him all day.
Yeah.
And he's literally changed a lot of people that have like success in hip hop. He definitely is a force, and you can even see his presence in the documentary. Mm-hmm. You can see how Kanye's doing something, and then Gre will back him up and will talk to other people. You saw how we'll talk about it when it comes up.
Okay.
And we'll talk about it. We'll be like, look at Gre working.
Yeah. And if you're interested, we had Gre on Midway Radio, so we'll add a link to that right there so you can go check it out. You can watch Carlos fanboy all over Olskool Ice Gre. And with that, should we get into episode 2?
Let's get into episode 2. He was fresh back then. You see them polka dots?
I was noticing that.
Then the Kwame
way better than the big shoulder pads he was wearing in that. What's that one video?
People know about the beats, but to me, like, I love doing beats. I ain't front on the beats.
You know what's interesting is this doesn't only happen in the hip hop community. I've seen this happen in the rock community as well. You might have some underground artist that's out there killing it, and then they get signed and then they disappear. And a lot of times is because the label that owns that contract might have an act or an artist or whatever that's very similar to them, and they don't want that attention taken away from their artist. Mm-hmm. So even though this is kind of in that vein where even if you're signed, you still might not really make it.
So it's a weird thing about that, because I would say Kanye is a very different artist than all of those artists that were on that label. I think putting him out would have taken somebody to believe in his style. Mm-hmm. And his style just wasn't, at this point in time, they didn't have the foresight to see anything else other than what they were used to seeing, if you understand what I'm saying.
Right.
Even though you can clearly hear the genius in what he's presenting, mm-hmm. they're not used to it yet, you know?
Right. And again, it's one of those situations where you have to find your own voice and believe in your own voice and keep pushing your own voice. Because if they would have signed Kanye and had him sound a little more like fill in the blank,
somebody else, yeah,
he wouldn't be the juggernaut that he is today. So stay true to yourself.
You remember this era of wearing clothes like this, things way too big for you. But also, if you watch Kanye, like, you look at what he got on. He got on a button down that has fonts, words on the back of his collar. Like, that goes to show you that he was being different even in that situation, like he didn't have on, you know, a white shirt or, you know, something big, you know, blue and red. Like he was definitely different, you know.
Yeah, that's the flow. I know I guess the blow when I don't play calls. I'm from Chicago.
It's dope that Jay-Z is so into this moment with him.
Yeah. And actually explains to him, like, you started feeling it at this moment. So let's record again, but keep that feeling that you had. Like, you sanded off all the rough edges, and then you got to a part where you just started feeling your bars, and that's when he's like, all right, booth time.
You started like after like the third one, you start feeling it.
Oh, here we go.
Cop star, rock star, you know what I'm saying? Feel that shit.
Just a long ass way from fucking rapping in my mama's crib.
That look is so gratifying.
For
like
years, everybody
like I
told
did
Kanye
it.
to just stick to the beats.
Yeah.
Now he had a feature with one of the greatest MCs to ever touch the mic.
See Twista in the background?
He's like, tag me in. Tag me in.
Yeah, that's champions.
When he crashed his car and almost lost his life.
So for folks that don't know, who have never been to LA or even have been and just haven't worked late as hell, but the streets, like say in Hollywood and kind of like down in LA proper, everything seems really straight and everything, but like once you start getting into the hills, into the Hollywood hills and even into the valley, like those roads are super curvy. And you don't even have to be on anything. You don't have to be, all you have to do is be the right amount of tired and you can slide off of one of them hills and it's a wrap. I never heard anything about him being on anything or like, so if you're thinking possibly he was whatever, I've never heard anything. I have lived in the LA area, in Hollywood and all that stuff. And like, it's a thing. The roads out there, especially when it's dark, it gets tricky. So
it's not Chicago streets.
Not Chicago streets.
Word up.
Over there is like on one side you see the mountain, on the other side you see nothing but air.
No.
And again, I kept stopping previous video because I wanted to talk about the film itself and like the approach to the film and Coodie just being available for recording this. Again, it's so incredible that the same guy got Kanye signing his first record album. The same guy got Kanye getting into the booth for the first time for Jay-Z. And Jay-Z said, "You're lucky you're saying some stuff because if you weren't, you damn sure weren't going to be on this track."
Yep. Closed mouths don't get fed.
And Coodie's just there, like making it happen. And again, nothing but love for Coodie, for everything that he did. Just again, having the foresight to go out there and hitting record. And look at, we win. We win because this is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, we win.
Yo, Greg, you wanted to chill here because we just go out to the dentist. Do you want to chill here because we going to the dentist?
That's how I call Greg. Like, Greg.
He said, who?
Oh, shit.
What? What?
He's writing that song as he's...
You won't be able to get the jaw fixed in January. Okay? Almost done with your shots, okay? Hang.
He cried on TV.
Yeah, crying on TV was this, you know? All your fans expect you not to cry. They expect you to be brave, you know?
Yeah, you don't.
Okay. Okay, we'll let you rest here for a while.
0% of his fans want to go do that very same thing.
Okay?
Hey, man, I feel good.
Right, it's 0%.
That's the shit.
First week in January,
Andy C.
Now picture this with gums around it, though.
Yo, so in this restaurant sits a young Kanye West, a young Olskool Ice Gre, and Andy C. Andy C is an amazing producer that taught everybody everything in hip hop. Like I can't tell you what he does not know about hip hop or about music. Andy C is probably one of our, like, he's up there with No ID and Doug Infinite. You know, it's Andy C, Doug Infinite, No ID in my like kind of in my like book of producers in Chicago. Big ups Andy C.
There he is.
This is Ice Gre at work, doing what he does best, right here.
Harassing people?
He gonna tell you about it. That's what he gonna tell you about. He gonna make sure you know who they are.
Right now, those kids are like, yeah!
Exactly. Well, they're adults now.
School.
But
Don't drop out like Kanye did.
just imagine, like, what are these kids doing right now? And they're like, holy shit, we met Kanye West. Because they didn't know who Kanye West was at the time.
Nope.
But now, even with them being in this documentary, oh shit, I met Kanye West at some random restaurant.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We were trying to study and they kept interrupting us.
Right.
How many of them kids failed out of class because they're Kanye and Gre was over there harassing them?
Hey, Fox.
This is one of my favorite Kanye jams on so many different levels too. The fact that Jamie Foxx is on there, the fact that Twist is on there, the fact that there's a slow and a fast, and the story is fantastic. The vocals are great. Everything about this song is so good. As a matter of fact, not just that, but I was back home when this song came out. I believe I was listening to GCI and they played it, and I can't remember who the DJ was, but it was a young lady. She played it once and she goes, "That was so good, I don't even care." She played it again, back to back.
Nice.
And I was like, there we go. That's a jam.
And that's what the Crib should have did for him.
Yeah.
You know, especially for it being Kanye West and Twista.
And if you didn't know, Twista's from Chicago, and can't wait for his documentary to come out, because, oh boy, if it's anything close to this.
Right.
He's another bad boy. Anyway, here we go. And if you get a chance, try to find where Jamie Foxx talks about this song and how Kanye approached him. Spoiler alert, Jamie Foxx was throwing a party. Kanye showed up and pulled him to the side and said, "Yo, I got this song I want you to hear." And then this is the tail end of that. But nice. the way that Jamie Foxx says it obviously is hilarious. Mm-hmm. Obviously. And it's just really cool to be hearing Jamie Foxx's interpretation of this song, or of the beginning of this song, and then seeing the end, the beginning of the end. The end meaning one of the baddest jams out there. That's the one right there. That's the one right there. You know how many times I practiced that in the car?
So here's Here's a fact about Ludacris.
Okay.
He's from Champaign, Illinois. He was born in Champaign, Illinois.
Yeah.
And I think he went to Oak Park River Forest.
And isn't that funny? Kanye was born in Atlanta, came to Chicago,
already know about his production. They about to find
and
out
Chris
about his skills.
was from Illinois and went and made it big in Atlanta.
Nigga, I feel you. Emergency every so I feel you. I didn't know.
Look at Pharrell.
Yo,
What's the word?
I just started with
Verklempt.
I didn't know.
So you can tell that Pharrell's like it's so genuine when you just say the N-word in that term, like exactly how he said it. He said everything he had to say.
Yeah.
I just thought it was the music. I didn't know. I didn't know. So
And you know what's funny is right there, Pharrell is 68.
Shit.
He doesn't age at all.
Gre going to work.
You don't care if you're a student eating fries or Pharrell.
So Pharrell just got it. He's like, oh shit.
Do the wire. Do the wire.
Right. See, and Pharrell's a genius.
Yeah.
And he sees the genius. He's like, oh shit.
Yeah, because his shit was wired up.
yeah, but did you get that in the beginning?
Yeah.
Look at he went down the hallway and confronted someone else.
That shit is phenomenal. That shit is.
But believe me, if I'm sitting in the studio with Jay-Z and Ludacris and Scarface every day,
And
you
Pharrell.
think my beat sounded like Blueprint when I first started, dog? I'm saying
Gre.
this is the point I'm at. And then you give me a deal for like $200,000 right now, and I'm gonna make you like $10 million later, or you can wait. You know what I'm saying? Because we're definitely.
Wow.
That's a really good really good part to flash back to the video from last week where I talked to the point where you have to be careful who you wrap yourself around or who you let hang out with you. Like Ye just snuck in a very valuable lesson, or he's proving my point. He's not in there with people that are about their silliness. He's in there with Jay-Z, with Pharrell, with all these people.
Scarface, yep.
Scarface, all them.
Ludacris, yep.
Ludacris, all these folks that have made it and they're making bomb-ass records, and he's trying to learn from them. He's forcing the relationship with them. He's not out there drumming up silliness. He's out there trying to learn. He's trying to get everything, trying to get all his ducks in a row because he needs to make it happen. The video before this, they showed his refrigerator. He had like a tipped over orange juice canister that was like more than halfway empty and like all kinds of, the shit was bare.
Yeah. I think he had peas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that, and then he's in the studio with Jamie Foxx and all these folks. You have to have those relationships and keep those relationships healthy again, so you can learn and grow. The more you learn and grow, that circle learns and grows, and then together you grow, and then you make it, and then look at how many people are feeding off of each other. The cream will rise to the top. You got to make sure that you're within that batch of cream that's rising.
Yeah.
So we reached out to Chike Oza, a director and graphic artist we met in the halls of MTV, to help us make it happen.
We're going to do a good job between me, Coodie, and Kanye, that we're on the same exact page.
Yo, I cannot find anyone to redo my logo for me. It's like I know no artist. I went to art school, now I don't know any artists.
I saw this and I was like, damn.
I know.
Oh, let's take a look at the storyboards.
I've been available. Why didn't you call me? Yay.
We were so proud to see him on that poetry jam.
Yeah. And I think that it's important to also point out that, well, there's Donda. Her support is amazing, but It's almost like Kanye just hit every possible avenue to make something happen, and then Rockefeller was finally like, we're not going to be able to shut this kid up. Can we get him a goddamn album?
Yeah, so you couldn't deny him.
Yeah.
Like, dog, now you know I'm gonna let y'all do mad videos, right? But Gene Box, man, dog, I gotta get hype, man.
Hype.
Yeah. Yeah, Hype Williams, dog.
Hey.
But I mean, you know, I love it, dog. The videos is dope, but I gotta get hyped to do.
I really like
15
Coodie's
minutes
stance
for this, dog.
on
Hey, that's what you gotta do.
on his, you know, he's made all this. He's made all this dedication to Kanye, and Jesus Walks could arguably change the trajectory of where this guy is gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, Hype Williams was that guy at that time. Everybody that was somebody important had a Hype Williams video. So I can understand Kanye asking about it, and I'm pretty sure Coodie he's like, you got to do what you got to do. Like, I'm pretty sure to him as a filmmaker, Hype Williams directing this video doesn't change the fact that we're still doing this documentary.
Right.
So, you know, like when you look at Kanye talk about it, it almost looks like he's like, man, I really don't want to say this, but I gotta get Hype Williams on this.
Right. He was in his own way asking permission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Coodie seemed like he was just like, yeah, but we're still on track. I'm still going to be recording
this.
I'm
that.
still going to be doing this. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like he was, you know, in like listening to his voice, it doesn't feel like he slighted or hurt.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just, I think that's dope in itself to recognize.
Yeah. And that's, again, like, it just hit me. Like, sometimes you have to take a hit for the team.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like in baseball, when I was in baseball, they used to tell us lean in just a little bit, take a fastball to the arm or to the ribs or whatever. You got to get on base somehow.
Yeah.
You take it for the team, and that's a good one to catch. It paid off. Kanye is doing to Coodie what Rockefeller has been doing to Kanye. If you want to look at it that way.
What do you expand on that?
So, and I'm not trying to bash anybody. I'm just looking at it from a different angle, right? Looking at it, if I was Coodie, like, this is mad props to Coodie for getting it, right? Up to now, everyone's been telling Kanye, yeah, it's fine, just go make me some beats. And in this instance, he's telling Coodie, it's fine, but we're going to let this man do the video. But, you know, it's cool that you're just recording my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, I get what you're saying, but I don't know. You know, I put myself in that situation as a filmmaker too. Mm-hmm. Like, all right, do I just think solely of, you know, my interest in this? Or am I, like you said, take one for the team? Like, like, I get why you would, Kanye, want to use Hype Williams or have Hype Williams on the roster.
Right.
But if, you know, Kanye just asked Coodie what he thought, and we're about to see how he thinks and what happens next.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. And that's when, like, so this situation and the other one, there was another situation that I was talking about grown folks, the way grown folks handle things. Coodie has 100% opportunity to catch feelings all over the place here. Like, I've been riding with you. Why are you playing me like they've been playing you? You know how this feels. This is going to be your big break. However, if I'm looking at it like Kanye, we finally got to this point. We got to make sure that we bring it home. So you got to go get that big dude. You got to go get Hype. You got to go get this video made by that dude. And like you said, at this point, that dude was Hype Williams.
And just to once again give it up to Coodie for seeing the bigger picture.
Right. Right.
Because
Grown
the
folk
bigger
shit.
picture, the bigger picture is, yo, this is, I'm here in this space.
Mm-hmm. I'm
not at the crib doing nothing. I'm here in this space at this moment with all these greats, Jay-Z, Dame Dash, Kanye West rising. I see it.
Yeah.
So as long as I'm doing what I'm focused on doing, which is this documentary, this shit, we move it forward. And I'm moving forward regardless if this one video he doesn't use me, you know. So that's,
and that's
like
how
said,
I would be.
Grown man.
That's how I would be. Number one, we got to take a look at the big picture. Number two, I'm going to let you get away with this one. But number three, I'm going to be right next to hype. And number four, I get to do whatever the hell I want to with this film that I've been recording. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's going to be some stipulations
Make
to
it
this.
work.
I'm not just going to let you get away with this.
Yeah, make it work.
Fuck that, y'all. Let's make
Nigga
this
fucked up.
motherfucker.
Nigga fucked the video up.
He gonna get to the set. Hype gonna have his own style. Kanye gonna be like, "What the fuck is this? I want it to be like this." You know what's gonna happen? We're gonna be flying out to Chicago and making it right.
That's it.
Ivan Jasper.
Coodie, cool.
That's
Shout
my
out to
family.
the effect, man. Hustle period. Mindstate.
You see you working?
Yeah.
Man, it's real big and 04, baby. We made it.
While me and Chike were making a
So it's weird how, people think that Kanye is doing this new thing with the whole gospel choir stuff like that, like it's a brand new thing.
Mm-hmm.
And as we see in episodes 1 and 2, that God has always been a focus, or something about God, or something about spirituality has been a focus in what he's been doing, and what is his team has been doing too. So I think that's something to be said.
Nothing. Right now, I'm sitting next to Puff on MTV. Like, I'm finna
Tell
go
him.
home and call somebody.
Tell them.
Like, dog, you know what I just did? It's like to the point
Tell
where I
him.
can't even get credit for.
And that's I kept saying this on the previous video. This kid came from nothing and worked and worked and worked, and he was not going to be denied. And now he's sitting in a room right next to P. Diddy.
Mm-hmm. So it says something about enjoying the moment that you're in.
Yeah.
And I remember there'd be times where I would be working on, promo stuff around the city, which would put me in the place of, people that was doing hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
And when I caught up with people that was doing hip hop, I would talk to them, but I would also be a fan of them too.
Mm-hmm.
So I would be enjoying a moment like a fan, but also being appreciative of, of being in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
So I know some people, I got, so somebody said to me, man, I don't see how you could, ask that person for an interview. Not interview, but I don't see how you can ask that person for an autograph. You are a part of this hip hop thing. And I'm like, that's exactly right. I am a part of it, but I love it so much that, I want somebody to be like, hey, I've met you, sign my album. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And he's at this point where he's like, man, I'm doing this stuff with Puff, but I'm fucking with Puff. You know what I'm saying? I'm with him right now.
Right.
Do you understand the moment that I'm at? This is me. I'm right here. You know? So yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, and that's how I feel about Midway Radio. When we were doing Midway Radio, if you guys want to see me, again, fanboying, whatever, on every single episode, and it's not just that I'm a fan of hip hop. It's not just that I'm a fan of a lot of the people that we met doing Midway and Midway Radio, but I'm a fan of how hard it is and how much passion you have to have behind that. And this, Like, I'm the kind of person where I feel like I have a certain set of skills. You have a certain set of skills. They may have a certain set of skills. Let's put those together and let's see how we can make it go for everybody. You know what I mean? Everyone that supported Midway, everyone that supported everything that I'm doing on my channel. Like, I am a huge fan of everyone. And at the same time, I'm like, but don't go thinking that I'm a punk, because I have also built a website for Tom Cruise. I've also built websites for Disney, and I'm working on Adobe stuff. So, like...
Well, it's a reason why you're here.
Yeah.
At this moment in time.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's a reason why you are a filmmaker of this. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah, it's not that you can't appreciate the moment of time that you're in, and also be a fan and appreciate people's work and being like, okay, cool. Look, I just met, Shadow Master. Shadow Master, it has been the host of,
the longest
running hip hop
open mic
night, open mic.
Yeah.
Like,
real quick, check out 606 open mic night. They got a page on Facebook, and they be sending me links on Instagram every week. Every week they're out there doing it. So 606, check them out.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, you can appreciate that, and that it comes from your city. You know what I mean?
Right.
And also be like, look, I'm a part of this, and I've built this. And this is what I've done. I'm pretty sure they like, after they saw who you were and what you have done for the city of Chicago, or Chicago hip hop, they're like, I get them asking about you. Like, what's up with Carlos? You know what I mean?
Oh,
so yeah, do that. They do that.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh God. Yo, I'm ready for episode 3.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that was episode 2 of Jeen Yuhs, Kanye West trilogy. Thoughts?
My first thought is the same thought that I had when I watched episode 1.
Yeah.
Which is just so good to see Chicago on this platform.
Huh.
Where, I'm sure millions of people are watching this.
Yeah.
It's so good to see people that, that are known from Chicago, people that I know personally, some people that I'm, close friends with, or people that I grew up with. Actually, big ups to Ivan Jasper. We were in the same crew in high school. That's Kanye's barber, and is, definitely sprinkled in this documentary, because, he's always there with Kanye. Big ups Andy C. I'm not gonna call him Greg. Olskool Ice Gre. Me and Ice Gre, I kind of met Ice Gre on a DJ scene while I was DJing, and I would always see them like out. Yeah. And if I'm DJing, I like to play the artist's stuff. So if I have your stuff, I'm going to play your stuff.
Yeah.
So there'd be points where we'd be doing shows, and I would call them on stage to do songs.
Yeah.
Like, just out of the blue, like, hey, yo, like, I see y'all out in the crowd. Come up here and do this. And they'd be like, oh, man, Sean pulled us on stage, But, that's the type of love that you're supposed to, as a DJ, you're supposed to give to your people. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or artists that's in the house. Like, I did it recently. I was out DJing the other day, and Cam B he walked in, where I was, and I played his music. He literally was bopping, like he didn't know what it was, and he was bopping, and then
he's like, "Oh, this is mine."
Right after, he looked back at me like, I'm like, yeah. So we still do it 25 years as a DJ, like that's what we do, you know.
Right.
But it was good to see people that I know and friends in this documentary. Big ups Andy C. And to see what they did to help the biggest artists in the world become the biggest artists in the world. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think that's probably my favorite thing about these last two documentaries.
And just to toss this in there too, because isn't it crazy how whenever they talk about violent cities, they're quick to throw Chicago out there. And it's just, Chicago's big. You have a shooting in Chicago, it could be like 10 miles away from you. Like you could very easily not be that close at all.
Yeah.
But entire Chicago gets pinned for that. So for me, it's on the point that you're making. It's just really good to see Chicago in a positive light. Things are hard. Don't be mistaken. Things are hard as Chicago, but it's not like when you have a group of people come together to really push through and have Kanye help Kanye reach the level that he's at. Like you can't do that by yourself. And it's just really cool to see people getting together, coming together, bonding together. Like they had Chike like sneaking people into MTV so they could do some motion graphics. Like, you know what I mean?
That's hip hop.
Yeah.
That's hip hop. And
100%.
The one thing that I will say is that you can tell that each person had a foundation, you know, like because we're following Kanye's life, you see Kanye's mother, his foundation, and you see what love she held him with,
right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You also see Coodie's family, and you know that he, you can tell in the look of how the house looked and how how his parents interact, that he had a foundation. Right. You can also look at, Brother J. Ivy, big ups to him, and Ice Gre, and you see these people and you can tell like they're from Chicago and they're from hoods. It's not like they're from outside of Chicago. They're from the crib, but they had these, upbringings that would help them form this bond that would ultimately help Kanye be one of the greatest artists in the world.
Talking about it in aspects to the film, again, I mean, Coodie's been out there. He hits record. He was vlogging before vlogs were a thing. And it just so happens that his vlogs were attached to, come to find out, one of them. What is it that you said? There's an astronaut flying around the moon that knows exactly who Kanye West is?
Look, you cannot deny that Kanye West is one of the greatest artists right now at this point in time.
Yeah.
Because I said they gotta be, if there was Martians in space, they would know who Kanye West is. And then I was like, no, for real, in real life, there's an astronaut floating around, orbiting the Earth, and it's like,
talk about Jesus walks.
Yes. Or trying to buy a STEM player to get that Donda 2. You know what I mean? Like, in space. That's what we're doing. Yeah, man. I think episode 2 really brought us to where we need to be. Like, I really want to know what episode 3 is right now. Yeah. I feel like my girlfriend, like, she's always like, hey, why would you make me watch an episode and I have to wait a week for it? Like, I want to just watch it all at once, so I'm really.
So we're going to pretend like whatever show she might be in doesn't already do that? A little
no,
spoiled.
She doesn't watch. It's like she will watch. She'll wait till they're all done and then watch them straight through.
Oh, okay.
And if I make her watch like episode 1 of something and it's, they have to wait for a week, she'll be like, why did you make me watch this? Now I have to wait.
Now I have to wait. She didn't grow up in the 80s at all.
Well, she grew up in the 80s, but
I know.
Not like I grew up in it. But it's just a good moment of time for Chicago. Like, I know this is a documentary that has Kanye West's name attached to it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're following the life of Kanye West, but we're also learning the work ethic of these people who are from Chicago. And it really represents Chicago. Once you see this and then we show you what we have, you'll be like, is that what is Chicago cranking out talented people like this?
We crank out a bunch of dope comedians. We have a lot of really good actors. We have a lot of good singers. We have a lot of good hip-hop artists. It just so happens that for some reason, I think it might be the weather, but for some reason, everyone feels like they need to step away and only a certain few go back. I think that's where the misfortune happens, but that's just me.
The weather here is really, definitely a thing. So I think that's something to be said about Chicago and the productivity or the way people move in Chicago. Mm-hmm. So we're right now. It was yesterday it was 222, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was the high was at one point of the day. Like I asked Alexa, and it was 22 degrees. I was like, holy shit.
It's 22 degrees at 2:22 on February 2, 2022.
That's how cold we are.
Yeah. That's where Ice Gre got his name from.
Word up.
All right, let's wrap this one up. Are you going to be available next week for episode 3?
I'll be.
Perfect. We're going to do that then. All right, you guys. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you know anyone else that's looking to get into filmmaking, animation, all that stuff, graphic design, and every once in a while we talk hip-hop and all that stuff, please hit that subscribe button. Tell all your friends, all your family that we are here creating content. Go to Midway doc.com, Midway, MIDWAYDOC.com. Check that out. We have all the links for that project there on that website, and you can check out. I'm going to go ahead and leave again the links to a lot of these people that we've been talking about. We got a David Banner, Vignette. We got a Olskool Ice Gre. I'm going to put a link to when we had Gre on Midway Radio. Make sure to check out Abstract Mindstate. That album that they came out with just a few months ago is winning awards and getting all kinds of dope recognition. So check them out too.
Entirely produced by Kanye.
Where can people find you? I almost forgot.
Oh, hey, they can find me on social media at DJ Sean Doe.
SEANDOE.
SEANDOE. And they can also find me at The Chicago Mix. Monthly, I do a show that features Chicago DJs playing all Chicago hip hop.
Sponsored by Vans.
Sponsored by Vans. The shoe. And
the shoe.
we've been doing it for about a year, and we just want to it's a live thing, so you have to go to vans.com to see it. So the next one is, if you're catching this beforehand, the next one is March 1st, and it's 6 to 8 Chicago time. So join us then.
So there's Vans on channel 66.
Yes, that's their station.
On March 1st. March 2nd is the release of the next Genius episode, the third and last, and then we'll either that day or the next day, Joe and I are gonna go get together and make another one of these videos. So I hope you're looking forward to that. So now I really do hope that this video finds you healthy and that this video finds you safe. With that, be good. Talk to you soon.